Did you know that the common bay leaf, which we habitually toss into soup for flavor, actually possesses amazing properties? It helps lower blood sugar levels, supports liver function, and affects sleep quality. It sounds unexpected because we're used to seeing bay leaves merely as a seasoning to give a dish a familiar aroma. But if you dig deeper, this modest little leaf turns out to be one of the most underrated plants for health, especially when it comes to metabolism, quality rest, and normalizing digestion. And the key here is to know how to brew and use it properly. Today, I'll tell you what happens when you prepare an infusion from bay leaves and why this plant deserves far more respect than most expensive supplements lining pharmacy shelves. You'll be surprised at how simple and effective it is. Most people really do throw bay leaves into boiling soup just for the aroma. Then they boil them for hours, during which they lose all their valuable substances. The essential oils evaporate, and then people say there's no effect. But that's like overcooking quality coffee and then blaming the beans for the ruined taste. The secret actually lies in three things: the right temperature, the brewing time, and patience. Because behind the familiar aroma hides real chemistry, quiet but very effective. A single simple leaf contains more than 30 active substances. It includes eugenol, linalool, cineole, and a whole group of natural flavonoids. They all work together as gentle antioxidants, as anti-inflammatory agents, and as digestive regulators. Eugenol is the same compound found in cloves, and it increases the body's sensitivity to insulin, helping it properly absorb sugar. Linalool calms the nervous system and slightly reduces the pulse rate. Cineole opens the respiratory pathways and activates liver enzymes that participate in the body's detoxification process. No miracles, just a complex, living leaf that does its work day by day. A professional, late middle-aged female doctor's voice. The tone is empathetic, warm, and trustworthy, like a private consultation. She speaks clearly but naturally, not like a robot. She uses significant pauses before important medical terms and drops her pitch slightly when discussing serious symptoms like melanoma or heart failure to emphasize importance. She takes audible, soft breaths between long thoughts to sound human and alive. The pacing is moderate, slow enough to teach, but dynamic enough to keep attention. Modern scientific research only confirms what our ancestors knew for centuries. Observations have shown that regular consumption of bay leaf infusion helps lower blood sugar and triglyceride levels in people with mild metabolic disorders. And a study conducted in 2020 proved that lauryl polyphenols protect liver cells from oxidative stress and help it work more efficiently. Even the aroma of bay leaf affects our body. When you inhale this scent, it acts on receptors in the brain, creating that very sensation of relaxation and calm that helps you fall asleep. So behind this simple scent lies serious science. And now we move on to the most interesting part, practice. How do you properly prepare the infusion to preserve all the benefits and not lose a single useful substance? You'll need very little. Take 2 medium dried bay leaves or 3 small fresh ones, a glass of boiled water, and a cup or small teapot with a lid. First step, bring the water to a boil and let it sit for about 30 seconds. Let it cool slightly so the water isn't bubbling and boiling. This is important because water that's too hot destroys some of the beneficial substances. Second step, add the leaves to the water, cover with a lid and let it steep for 10–12 minutes. This is critically important because essential oils evaporate easily into the air, and the lid helps preserve them. Third step, strain through a sieve, cool to a comfortable temperature, and drink slowly in small sips. The taste should be mild and pleasant, not bitter at all. If you notice a sharp, unpleasant aftertaste, it means the leaves have oversteeped and some tannins have leached into the water, which isn't very good. You can add a piece of cinnamon or a thin slice of lemon for flavor, but only without sugar or honey, especially if you're monitoring your blood sugar levels and want to get the maximum benefit from this drink. That's the whole essence. No mysticism, just ordinary natural chemistry that really works. Now, a logical question arises. When is the best time to drink this infusion? If you want to gently awaken your metabolism and give your body energy, morning will be the ideal time. Bay leaf tea in the morning helps the body wake up and start working more actively. And if you're looking for a way to relax after a long day, an evening cup will become your reliable helper. The warm infusion will soothe the nervous system and prepare you for restful sleep. But here's a very important point. Don't overdo it. 1 cup a day will be quite sufficient, and you don't need to drink it every day in a row. The optimal regimen is a course of 5 to 7 days, followed by a mandatory break. Remember that even the most beneficial remedy requires a sensible approach and moderation. There are also important precautions to be aware of. If you have low blood pressure, stomach problems, or suffer from ulcers, you shouldn't overindulge in bay leaf infusion. The essential oils in bay leaves have quite pronounced activity. In small amounts, they have a beneficial effect, but if you overdo it, they can provoke spasms or cause unpleasant sensations in the digestive system. Therefore, the main rule remains unchanged. Everything is good only in moderation. Now, let's talk about how to properly select bay leaves themselves. Pay attention to the leaves being whole, with a matte green tint, possessing a strong and pleasant aroma, and without any gray spots. If you notice that the smell is weak or there's a musty odor, this is a sure sign that the leaf has already aged and lost most of its beneficial properties. Storage matters too. Keep bay leaves in a tightly closed jar, in a place protected from light. This is a very important point because sunlight destroys essential oils much faster than simple heat. Therefore, a dark cupboard or kitchen drawer is the ideal storage spot. A professional, late middle-aged female doctor's voice. The tone is empathetic, warm, and trustworthy, like a private consultation. She speaks clearly but naturally, not like a robot. She uses significant pauses before important medical terms and drops her pitch slightly when discussing serious symptoms like melanoma or heart failure to emphasize importance. She takes audible, soft breaths between long thoughts to sound human and alive. The pacing is moderate, slow enough to teach, but dynamic enough to keep attention. And here we come to the most important conclusion. Ordinary bay leaves that have been sitting in your kitchen cupboard for years, just in case, can easily turn into a simple and truly useful remedy for strengthening health. You just need to treat them a bit more attentively and understand how to use them properly. Sometimes what we call miracles is simply science that we've elevated to the level of everyday habit. By the way, we're continuing to share with you proven and effective video recipes that will help you take care of your health. We already have a detailed recipe for a decoction from beetroot bark, a full recipe for millet milk, as well as an effective recipe for a decoction from dill seeds. You'll find all these videos right on the screen, and I'll leave all the links for you in the description under this video. If you want to learn even more useful recipes, just write the word yes in the comments under the video. Take care of yourself and stay healthy.